The initial velocity of a body of mass 50 kilograms is 10 meters per second. So the value of u, the initial velocity u, is equal to 10 meters per second, and the mass of the body is equal to 50 kilograms. A constant force of 15 newtons, so the force is equal to 15 newtons, is then applied. How long will it take before the kinetic energy doubles? So we can find the initial kinetic energy. So the initial kinetic energy is the same as a half times the mass times the initial velocity squared. So this is the same as equal to substituting a half times the mass, which is 50, times u squared is 10 squared. This becomes 2,500 joules. That is the initial kinetic energy. But this kinetic energy should be doubled, so we multiply by 2. So the final kinetic energy is equal to 2,500 multiplied by 2, which we get 5,000. Now, using the final kinetic energy, we can find the final velocity of the body because the mass of the body remains constant. So 5,000 is the same as a half mv squared. So this is the equivalent to a half times the mass 50 multiplied by v squared is the same as 5,000. So the value of v squared is equal to 200. To get the value of v squared on both sides, so v, the final velocity, is equal to 14.14 meters per second. The question asks us to find how long is time. So time is what we're looking for. We have the final velocity v is equal to 14.14 meters per second. The initial velocity is equal to 10 meters per second, and the mass is given. Now we can find the acceleration of this body because we have the mass and the force. From the Newton's second law of motion, force is the product of mass times the acceleration of the body. Now the force is 15 is equal to the mass 50 multiplied by the acceleration. So the value of acceleration is equal to, divided by 15, you get 0.3 meters per square second. Now that is the acceleration of the body. Now we're looking for time. We have time, we are looking for time, velocity we have, the final velocity, the initial velocity, and the acceleration of the body. Now the second one is S is equal to ut plus a half at squared, and number 3, v squared is equal to u squared plus 2s. So we're looking for time. This is what we are looking for. We have velocity, final velocity, the initial velocity, acceleration, time. Now we are going to apply the first law. The first equation, v is equal to u plus 8. Final velocity is 14.14 is equal to